Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you very much for those who are our subscribers, and I want to start by saying Happy International Women's Day to all the women in our channel. This is your day, and my message is rise above your limits because everyone has a potential. For those women YouTubers, I'll be so glad to interact with you. Share your channels so that I can also share your links. With that, we grow together. That according to me is my mantra. I am just from China Square, guys. I was in that place shortly, and I'll be doing some follow-up on that. But when I came back, I have realized that there are videos and photos going around in social media right from as early as 6 a.m. in the morning when President Ruto marshaled the security officers to block some specific roads to State House and state lodges across the country. And the roads to State House has been seen, part of which has been seen as mere publicity stunt over the matter. And I know I've seen those who have been reaching out to me asking, of course, trying to ridicule that, trivialize the fact that the UDA leader, or rather President William Ruto, have been a bit dismissive in terms of what the Azimio la Umoja were planning as far as the mass action is concerned. This is in relation to the 14 days ultimatum that is lapsing on Wednesday night. Remember, the 14 days ultimatum that Raila talked about was on 22nd of February. So by 8th, by 8th, the 14 days ultimatum is lapsing. So I don't know what was the intelligence behind it as far as the blocking is concerned, because I was just trying to link it with the mass action deadline, but surely it doesn't coincide because it was not supposed to be today. But maybe what exactly is behind it? As early as yesterday in the evening, we had been experiencing some dynamic protests. There was one in Kisii, which was just to addressing the Matiang'i arrest, or what will be a Matiang'i harassment. Around some parts of, I think that was in Jacaranda, around Jacaranda. There was also some dynamic protest, just that lasted for merely something like an hour. And so far, that is what has been going on. Now, from where I am seated, the information that I think so far we've conceived, and I've listened to a press briefing by some Azimio leaders at Orange House today, talking about what exactly they're expecting, and of course I'll try to look at that in our other analysis. But then what is at disposal so far, what we've conceived, is that Raila has told the supporters that after the lapse of the deadline on Wednesday, they are going to give directions on Thursday. So probably we expect a press briefing as early as 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, which will be just trying to give direction to the supporters of what is going on. I need to be very candid with you. I was live streaming this today. I was live streaming the press briefing by the Azimio team this evening, and I just took time to go through the comment section. And I just want to, because I'm still live, I just want to sample some few reactions here from that live. It's still live as I'm talking to you. Morris Amande: Uhuru warned you Mount Kenyans fellas, but you ignored him, forgetting he was in government. The president by then, he knew what was going on to happen. Now some are just pretending that they're useless. Jen Kaburu: mass action is a must. Kenyans cannot hold on anymore. Kenyans are hungry. Raila is our savior. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Azimio leaders, msituangushe. We are ready. Let's go do it. Now, come out. Yes, come out, don't wait. Wale wa meno nje. Okay, let me go to that now. Wamekuwa shindwa na kazi, just hand over to someone else, kazi ifanywe. Watu kwa kibarua, Ruto sio huru ama bado wengine. Yeah, there's this one here. There is no turning back or without Raila's approval. It's either Ruto to go or be hanged with. Okay. Where Agnes did, okay. Loser angry wolf, my president, Mr. Ruto voted for him. We don't want these stories. Let's go to State House. Let me tell you, something is going on there. What the people are talking about here is they don't want to hear of anything else. And I can tell you, I think it's the most difficult thing at this moment is to be Raila Odinga, because the public, or rather, if you listen to what the public are saying, is nothing short of we want to go to State House. But again, there are realities to that move, and I don't think Raila will be not very objective enough or not very keen enough to expose youths to what will be a very bad confrontation with the police. Now, mass action has not been called, and to the best of my knowledge, I think they are yet to give statement. I want to tell you why I believe that President Ruto, I think, is, as far as he's handling it, the issue about deploying the police as this early, and of course even blocking those specific roads, is a big blunder. You know, first let's put it clear. According to what's running in, and you can just think about it, what's running in President Ruto's mind, indeed, it is about security. His problem is not about maybe everything, but if it is about the security, then what is the intervention? Because if indeed you want to stop protesters, you know, barricading the roads is not an intervention to stop protesting. Because simply, if the people turn up, are you going to kill them or not? So I believe that if those who are communication or rather crisis management team at State House should actually do more of messaging on what is going on or what they're doing. In fact, they can do a press briefing instead of giving us the other side shows. They should do a press briefing trying to speak on and give an official position on some of these matters. Let me say, since the 6 irreducible minimums that Raila Odinga spoke about at Jivanji, what we have been seeing is the Deputy President and President William Ruto and a host of Kenya Kwanza leaders going to an event, maybe to launch something, and using those platforms to offer, to fire back and rebuttals at Raila Odinga. And some of those, maybe some are picked by media, especially ones that are maybe populous, that can also attract headlines, could be splashed in headlines and they sell, and you know, it just goes on a day. But I have a feeling that the official position of government and these agencies in terms of this matter needs to be addressed, needs to be made. Because yes, we are talking about the cost of living. The official position on reducing the cost of living, I don't think it can be explained by the 15 billion, and I'm not trying to defend that 15 billion scandal. For me, I think it's a bit of a scandal. The scandal cannot explain why the cost of living is high. Remember the scandal, we're just talking about it today. So we've also been to this country where, sadly enough, we've normalized corruption. It cannot be a big shocker. You know, that's what maybe it's shocker because of the high profile names that are here and then they're not in government and they were at the decision making table. But again, the discussion, the understanding we're giving it in terms of the billions are not it. I believe what President Ruto would have thought of is just making, even if you call a presser and, you know, media house, integrate the media houses and do one presser and speak to the nation about the things that I have spoken about. Those institutions that can talk about the servers should come out and give official positions on the cover, so that even if there is going to be coverage on the mass protest, that coverage can still be balanced, fairly balanced by official positions on things that are done. For example, let's talk about the cost of living. Can you just tell the country your position on the cost of living? What's offer, and for us, we have privilege of, maybe you have knowledge of building dams to help us, and our role is also to execute, to say what government is doing. We are building dams so that we can increase irrigation farming, one intervention to increase our food basket. Then we are giving fertilizers to our farmers to subsidize their cost, and on that, increase their input, try to use the demand curve, try to play with the demand curve. And lastly, I think we are also importing some grains, some cereals abroad to try to help feed our people. So that's what you need to tell the people. I don't think physically creating those barriers are not, for me, a good intervention, because Ruto himself is shifting the focus to the status direction. I want to tell you this. We all in this country have been covering all the Azimio events and the messaging. I don't think there is a clear message on Azimio la Umoja that they are going to State House. If you ask me, I don't think that's on table. Believe me, I can tell you that without fear of contradiction, that going to State House is not on table. We're in this country, and the reality is we have to also deal with the reality. So, but when you start barricading, unless there is something that Ruto knows, which personally I may not know, which of course is true, that which there is a lot that he knows that maybe some of the people in the public may not know. But when you start barricading roads and these photos are shared even a day before, you're already creating that tension. And I can tell you, tomorrow, what is the likelihood that some people might even shy, people who work around town in this places, might even shy from going to work because you've already created the tension. In fact, the person that is feeling that tension is the people behind the security operations, the people that are behind the security strategies. The security strategists are already creating it because I think no one has said they're going to State House, to say the truth. Now, I think creating a perception of trying to suppress the protest, to me, is a bit creating, already charging what the masses, because, of course, protest is allowed in law, and as the government, they know very well that there is a constitutional provision that says the government can notify, or those who want to protest can notify the police. And I want to agree that Azimio la Umoja could be they have notified the police, or why not? They can notify the police, or maybe they've notified it. And if they've been given the go-ahead, then it is constitutional. So when you try to behave as if you're suppressing it, to me, I think it doesn't go that way. The scare strategy a day before it is giving it huge local and international media coverage. I don't know how you're gonna, and there is a very important aspect. I will try to look at it in my next analysis. Now, there are many things I'm going to look at in my next analysis. In terms of what the press of the media in this, is the protest illegal? No. It's in the Constitution. Number two, it's in the public interest. If you keep off, when the protesters go to this protest and come back home, they might also keep off your screens. And you also stand the risk of not really cutting the line that maybe you support that and support the other person. So it's a very interesting development for me. I believe the security strategists have committed a bit of a blunder because maybe we are not yet there. Not yet.